So cute.
He's quite aloof really, because I think he probably was mistreated as a young cat. He's very shy of a lot of people. It's called Horace, so he has become the star. He doesn't know it really.
This festival is actually one of my favourite.
The festival has evolved in leaps and bounds.
Every year it happens, it just gets better and better, and it really is about he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. It's about the people.
That's my ancestor.
His name is David Strand.
That's my...
David Strand is a coffee bean.
He invented instant coffee.
He's the first human ever.
Anybody who's brought like art merchandise for the exhibition, any merch, prints, t-shirts, whatever you got, it's got supposedly going in the exhibition.
We started off in a small town and we had so much town support. It was really, really cool. And then Bluff as well, another small town.
First one like a fishing village, second one in like a little port town. Now we're in the city. It's just bigger. There's more artists. There's more walls. There's bigger walls.
Heard over and over again, oh, it's about time Invercargill got a turn. So there's been a lot of people waiting and excited for Invercargill to get their shot at seeing a whole lot of murals go up. So it's been very well supported.
It's the chatter out in the community as well. You know, people are talking about it and they're excited.
Definitely like always a goal. Like originally it would have been, hey, let's do it in Invercargill from day one. But we knew, you know, I knew and the crew knew that we needed to have some backing and we needed to create an entity and create a mark before we could even start. So Riverton Bluff finally made it to Waihopai, and it was cool to do something for the hometown, you know.
I was thinking about the other day, it's just grown and built on itself. I forget the first one was only 8 or 9 artists or something like that. It's felt big from the start, but I think that's because of the approach that the organisers have taken the whole way through, right from the first one, built in it on the second one, and now it's like in full form. It's like everything's built around the artists doing their job really well, given a good length of time, looked after properly, fed really well. You feel cared for.
I can't really believe it, to be honest. I've been sending pictures to my friends all around the country and people have seen it on the national news.
Invercargill's been getting a zhuzh, the latest part of a makeover of its CBD.
A pop of colour and a lick of paint.
It's just created such a buzz. We've been rebuilding the whole city centre, actually, and this is like the icing on the cake.
So it's not just the finished product, it's actually the vibrancy that these people bring when they come in and bring their skills and talent with them, and they do it on such a large scale.
In Aotearoa, there's a word called whakawhanangatanga, which is relationship building, and that really is quite strong in our New Zealand artists.
It's really nice, like you say, to have had the OGs with us the whole time and then just adding more people around the fringes of that.
We're all one giant whānau. Everyone can have a good chat with everyone, there's no egos, you know, we're not like some fancy pants, untouchable artists.
You are special.
Family's everything, you know, especially in the Māori culture. My wife's Italian, especially in their culture, like La Familia, you know, take care of each other, family is life. And what we do, I think it is exactly that. A growing family, a new family.
I saw the previous year and I saw the Southern hospitality and everything, and as soon as I got the invite I was so excited about it, which was probably about a year ago, you know.
This is my first time painting at the South Sea Spray Festival and I'm just absolutely blown away with how everything has been organised so amazingly. It's always an amazing experience to paint at a festival. As an artist, it's quite a solo kind of job. A lot of the time you're painting or creating alone. So the festival time is when you can connect with everybody.
So this is my first festival and everything's just been really new for me. Getting to know other street artists, seeing their work, it's been really inspiring. Also, I've had heaps of fun being back with the girls, creating another mural.
I find that after painting and then hanging out with other artists, you look around the room and everybody's covered in paint and you feel at home.
And to have everyone together and just swap stories and also technical aspects of how we do this is really beneficial because it helps us all evolve, not only creatively but technically and also socially as well. You know, I myself have a bit of social anxiety, and art for me is my outlet that I like. I enjoy putting my headphones on and just being focused on me and focused on a wall, and just that's it, it's my happy place. I organised a month in August to go back to Phnom Penh in Cambodia and do different projects working with the Cambodian Children's Fund. It was really cool, but it was quite interesting after travelling so much and being so used to it. And then after 2-3 years of not travelling, getting in a plane and going, when I landed in Phnom Penh, I had real doubts as to what I was doing, Thinking, oh my God, why am I doing this? What's the point? I should have just stayed at home. But then as soon as I walked out and I saw my guy to greet me, I just knew that was all that washed away, and I knew my purpose and that this is who I am.
I had wanted to do an international residency for a long time. Since we had had that experience of what it feels like to not be able to travel for the first time ever, I felt motivated to go to one of the countries that had been on the list for ages that's very far away because Europe is so far away. So I came across the Lakos residency in Greece. I applied and I got accepted. It was really cool to be in that space because there was a notable lack of tourists, which are hard to avoid in Greece because the economy relies on tourism. It was kind of the old town area of Iraklio. And the cool thing about painting in Greece is the same thing that is really beautiful about painting at home, wherein you are faced with the public and you're in an unpredictable space, like whatever is happening around you in the world is whatever's happening, and you don't get to choose that like you do in a studio.
We're all used to walking into galleries and seeing results hanging on walls, but for an artist to bring their audience in and to show them something from start to finish, i.e. a 5-day piece unfold, that in itself was inspiration for me. Phlox has definitely snowballed into this machine. Wherever you look, you'll see something Phlox. I put my commercial hat on and I'm the business person and I do all that, but this stuff is where my heart is. The murals help keep me grounded, and it means that I'm doing what I love. I'm painting, which is like the core, the essence of who I am. I started in Auckland in 2002, 2003, when the worldwide street art phenomenon really exploded. It was quite a revelation doing art on the street, and back in the day it was very graffiti dominated, I suppose.
TMD is a collective of artists, mainly based in New Zealand, but we have members in Australia and Germany. TMD started in 1997 out west of Auckland.
We were creative. We wanted to be seen. We didn't have a degree. We didn't have tuition fees for prestigious schools. We gathered on the street. It was our canvas. It wasn't always right, but it most definitely was a family that we all needed in different ways.
Our art form is from the street and we're looked down upon. To get to where we are today is amazing.
Our artists we have here are hand-picked because they're the artists that inspire me. So to be able to bring you all here, it's inspirational. Share your artwork in here, but also your artwork in the street. It's where it started, it's where we're at, and it's what we're doing.
As a muralist, you're a visitor to a specific area. And the thing that I always love is being able to talk with people and see their reactions and be available for them to ask questions. 9.9 out of 10 times, people are really stoked to have large-scale artwork going up on the walls that exist within their neighbourhood.
I do it every time that I go past, and I'm sure that these poor artists go, oh, here's another one, and but I'll chat away to them and I'll say, what's this and what does it mean, and all of these things.
I have searched about Invercargill and I just found the article. It's talking about the MIRELLA statue. It was standing for a while in front of the art gallery in Invercargill, but it's already stretched because of avoid for some damages, so people cannot see public area again. Pauline bring me to see the actual statue inside of the stretch, and it's just wonderful and really beautiful. So I just wanted to bring it back.
Everywhere I go, I'll try and find like a local story and just tell the story in the mural form, like a lot of people come and do portraits of locals and stuff like that, so it was kind of extending on that idea, but taking it to cats and stray stories.
Yeah, I thought the cats were beautiful and it was so realistic, it was so gorgeous, and happened that I had a stray cat and that it was ginger, which was a really nice colour to work in with the historical aspect of the building. Southland Education, or the WEA, has owned this building since the 1960s. Back in the day it was built by Strangs and they patented their method for making instant coffee.
So David Strang, he was the first person in the world to invent instant coffee. Wasn't credited for it at first, It was someone in America, but then once they realised New Zealand, little old New Zealand exists down at the bottom of the world there, he got back credited with the first person to invent instant coffee.
So that's a huge thing, a worldwide patent. A lot of people in Southland and Invercargill don't actually even realise that. Didn't know it myself until I worked here. Apart from being the most amazing wall now, it does educate people as to what the building was all about, why it's special and why it needs to stay here. It feels even more like home, and it's going to be here for such a long time.
Like, it really pushed me, and I'm really grateful that it did in that way, that it kind of challenged me. You know, my first ideas were kind of rejected in a way, and so I was just like, kind of got competitive with it, and I was like, oh, no, we can definitely do it all right, you know, and so I kind of got competitive with it, and we made this epic concept, and then we got it over the line, and then it was like, damn, we have to actually paint this now.
Oh yeah!
This one in particular is a little tribute to some friends of mine that passed away in the last few years. On the far side is my friend Jungle, who's like a legendary sort of Christchurch pioneer and graffiti guy. On my left here is a friend of ours called Mark, who was known as Parole. And on the right here is a friend called Lance, who was from Invercargill and was like quite well known and did a lot of work with kids and people around the league community. Basically, like, my target audience for the festival, like, I know my graffiti walls are never going to win the People's Choice Award when you got to battle a giant cat, and like Koryu's amazing murals and DCYPHER doing 7 murals in like a couple of days. So my target audience for this was basically like 2 people, which is Lance's partner Chi-Chi, who lives down here in Invercargill, and another friend of mine called Zoo, well, known as Zoo, who also lives down here and was friends with all of the people in the mural as well. Yeah, tribute walls will always pop up. I think because, you know, graffiti starts out as a thing where you're just writing your name on a wall, trying to get noticed and trying to be seen. I think it's important, especially with people like Jungle, who had a really pioneering role in the graffiti scene. If you speak to the artists of my generation and ask our influences early on, it's like tags like that are what we saw around, and then from there it's sort of built up to, so it's a butterfly effect.
Lots of little tidbits as well that are all hiding in this wall, which really mean a lot to me. The biggest shout out is when I grew up in Gore, my biggest connection here was my friend Rangi, who introduced me to how to live in the city, how to skateboard in the city, how to run away from bogans while skateboarding in the city, and just a whole lot of great stuff. And he passed away a few years ago to cancer, which is yeah, immensely sad, but without him I wouldn't be here or even producing this mural. Because one of his best friends was a guy I met up with like maybe 15 years later randomly, and he sold paint in Dunedin, and he got me into doing this graffiti, which has spawned into my mural making. I mean, coupled with my friend who goes by the name of Dagger. So I put Dagger up on the wall, name's up over there. Rangi's name is up in the sky, obviously.
South Sea Sprays have created this platform where we get to express ourselves as an artist, and we haven't, I don't think we've ever done that in our entire outdoor street art mural career, whatever people want to call it. We've never painted a mural that's our story. It's always been someone else's story, and this was the moment where I was like, oh, we have to say something about this because this was a big deal.
The saying on the bottom right, adorn the feathers, is really about graduating. And graduating, as a Māori, you normally have a korowai, and on your korowai is all feathers.
We didn't know any other way to say how we felt except painting this work based on a whakatauki or a proverb. Mā te huruhuru karere te manu, like adorn the bird with feathers so it can fly, is what the translation of that is, well, a basic translation. We'd spent all year just growing and learning and developing and understanding who we were as Māori, and then learning the language, which we've wanted for so long to understand. You know, for us it was a big deal to go full immersion, full time, Monday to Friday, 9 to 3 for the year, to try and get back something that was taken away.
Bless my heart today seeing my niece do the graffiti art workshop because it's so unique.
So it's really important, kind of like when you're painting a canvas, it's always nice to prime it first.
When you see a kid that's out in the street tagging, you might be watching the whole evolution.
The youth were so inspired. I've heard a lot of people in the community saying Invercargill's so lucky to have this happen and to have you all here. But you know what, there's no luck in this. This is hard work from you guys, and as a born and raised Invercargill person, I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, one of the ways that we do roll is that if you're family, you're just, roped in, and friends. Yeah, if you don't want to be involved, just don't make eye contact with us, because if you do, you're in.
So here I am. Our days have been finishing around 9. And that's generally we're kind of pushing them out the door. I'm the bossy one. Charles has the beautiful voice, so I just get Charles, time please.
It's a big deal feeding people, especially in Te Ao Māori, like food is actually currency. So if your food is lacking, you're getting no love.
Scott, you were amazing. You've catered for us all week. We actually decided that you need a superhero cape. Not being able to find one, we found the next best thing, which is a DCYPHER t-shirt. Logistically on the floor, so there's about 40 people for breakfast, lunch and dinner, so 120-ish meals a day. This doesn't happen without the people in the background. I wanted to acknowledge anyone. It's, those people in the kitchen up to their elbows at 10 o'clock at night. They're really the people that make it actually happen. Okay.
So there were 222 votes.
And Lauren and I decided we'd check out what the angel number 222 means.
And it's heartful connections, so family and friendship.
The winner of the 2022 South Sea Spray People's Choice Award is...
1, 2, 3.
Swift Mantis!
I mean, to win the People's Choice Award was amazing, because it was we just put everything into this, from the design to the painting, just everything into it. I'm running on probably 4 hours sleep right now. I'm just floating on coffee fumes pretty much. I knew what I signed up for. I love it. This is what I'm here for. I'm here to do this stuff.
And we really wanted to bring something different to Invercargill. We weren't sure how they would feel about a giant cat, but the people have talked and they obviously love it. So yeah. It's awesome.
I think when something grows, it's important to build your own identity as well.
Yeah, we worked with another crew in the past, but now we've got our own entity, South Sea Spray Trust. That in itself holds power.
It's also a really good project. So got really good support in terms of the dollars to put the festival on, and it costs a lot of money, over $200,000 for a festival like this.
We've received 100% funding for all our funding applications to cover the cost of what we're doing, which is unheard of. So there's obviously a support for what we do.
South Sea Spray fits all of our criteria perfectly, because we just see this far-reaching benefit of being surrounded by beauty and
see the variety of different murals that are out there and being able to think in different ways about what those murals mean.
It has absolutely lifted the pride in the city.
huge thank you to the whole team, especially the background team, everyone who the people won't see. They'll just see the murals, you know. They might see us painting them and put a face to, you know, the artist, but then again there's that whole massive year-long process of all the imbecile, of getting all the cogs moving and getting the money and getting the paint and asking the build owners, trying to negotiate getting a wall, and then also not just getting the wall but saying, hey, we're going to have an artist do what they feel like doing on here. That can be really scary to building owners. So, you know, these people have just worked tirelessly to have us.
But I think when you're just busy doing it, you don't really realise, but it's probably later when, you know, when you walk around and see the murals and realise that you're a part of it and your family are a part of this, and yeah, it's pretty exciting.
We're so thankful to South Sea Spray.
I just really appreciate Invercargill having me, South Sea Spray having me, and yeah, just giving me the trust to pursue something that was out of the ordinary, I guess.
Yeah, I just want to come to South Sea Spray again. Yeah, that's the most important for me, like for all the jobs, all the mural commission stuff, or like everything about event. I'm always looking for the next one.